Aloha! You're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Aloha! My name is Rohaname Di Fiesta and I am from Leilehua High School. Today I'll be interviewing Representative Amy Peruso. So Amy, tell me about the challenges your district faces.
In House District 46, which now stretches all the way from Waipio Acres out to Kunia, incorporates all of the bases in central Oʻahu and then goes all the way out to Kaena Point, we have a whole range of issues facing different parts of our community. And I would say the three most important issues for the entire time I've been in office have been public education and support for public education, the crisis around houselessness and our unhoused community members, and also climate change and the impacts it's having on how we navigate, how we think about our food systems and our transportation systems and all of our infrastructure. So we have a lot of challenges in this district. So it's been really interesting 6 years.
Ooh. Can you tell me about the goals you have for this district?
Sure. I mean, I think that my goal is that we come together more as a community and learn how to problem solve together. I think that we've done remarkable work in that direction, and I think that there's still work to be done. I think that we are facing some challenging times right now, and I think that there are a lot of elements and a lot of kind of issues that divide us. But I think that if we work through those issues, then we're going to be stronger for it.
Can you tell me about the ways the district has grown positively?
Yes. One of the things that's been happening is, I'll give you one example. And so I always think about strengthening of our democracy as the foundation for answering all of our problems, responding to all of these sources of crisis. And one of the ways in which we are really coming together and working together is around the landfill that's being proposed in Wahiawā, between Wahiawā and Waialua, so right in the middle of our district. And I think that the ways in which the community has really come out and really shown solidarity and talked a lot about the importance of protecting our vai, protecting our aquifer for future generations. I think that's had a unifying impact, and I think we've also had really important conversations about protecting agricultural land. And then what does it look like to pivot towards more sustainable agriculture and moving away from pesticides? So those have been really important conversations that I hope we continue.
Thank you, Amy. My name is Rohaname Di Fiesta, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Hi, I'm Sua Cha from Leilehua High School, and I'm here with Mr. Nakamoto. As the principal of Leilehua High School, what are the responsibilities of this job?
So this job is, very fun at times. Primarily is to take care of the students, the staff, the overall operations of the school, and just keep things positive and moving so students can be successful.
What are some of the challenges that you face on this job?
Yeah, so some of the challenges nowadays, it's really hard to keep people motivated and positive. There's so much going on in the world, a lot of stress around, so it's just about, trying to keep people positive, focused, and moving forward every single day.
Do you have any current things that you're doing at the school? I heard you're doing a centennial gala.
Yeah, so this is our 100th anniversary. So instead of doing, one big event, we're doing many events throughout the year. So we did bring back the homecoming parade that's been missing for several years. We did have a community fun run. We had a homecoming event that we invited all of our feeder schools, our past 2 state champion teams were in attendance to homecoming. And then we have the Centennial Gala coming up in April, end of the month, to support our culinary students, where all proceeds will benefit our culinary students.
What are some of your goals for the future of Leilehua or the Wahiawā community?
So as far as goes for Leilehua, it's all about trying to make Leilehua the best school in the world. Just giving the opportunities for the students so they can be successful. And definitely, Wahiawā community is a very special community. There's a lot of families that are generational families, right? Grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle went to Leilehua. So I guess my goal is to unify the community and bring everyone together so we can support the kids much better.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm Sue Cha from Leilehua High School, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Hello, I'm Chloe Ferreira from Leilehua High School, and today I'm with Dr. Campisano from Huala School. So, Doctor, what's the difference between a charter school and a public school?
Well, thank you, Chloe, for the pleasure to be here today to talk to you. Big difference between a private school, charter school, public school is that our private school gets no state tuition, so no state funding. So we're completely dependent upon tuition, and that's how we operate our budget. So no state funding, completely separate.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Could you explain what you do as the principal of Huala?
Great question, Chloe. I wear many hats, so primarily making sure everybody is safe, making sure that the academic program, we're following our academic program. And Huala for 40 years is known for their social and emotional development of children. That's a big component of what we do at Huala. So making sure everybody knows how our procedures are in place and what we are to follow. So that's my job pretty much as the head of school, managing the budget. I also have to manage our finances. In addition to that, making sure that our teachers have all the resources they need to do what they need to do to support the students.
Has there been any challenges at your time as a principal?
Great question. Yes, Chloe. I actually came in 2021, which, if you remember, in 20 was the pandemic. So when we were, I would say, kind of recovering from that severe pandemic and how it impacted our students, both their academic work and their social and emotional development. So it's been one of the biggest challenges to really get our school back on track and getting focused on what we need to do. That's a great question.
Has there been, or was there any way that you were able to overcome that over the years?
Yes, a lot of meetings with the faculty. We meet every week, and these are issues we talk about, plus working with our families. So, a lot of families during the pandemic, there's a lot of pressure put on families about what the future is going to be. How long are we going to be in this pandemic? Do we wear masks? Do we not wear masks? Getting the vaccination. The vaccination came late. If you were between the age of 5 and 11, that was one of the last groups to get the vaccination. So I'm proud to say that Huala was the third school on the island that hosted a vaccination clinic for the children. So we had an 85% turnout of our families wanting to get their children vaccinated during the pandemic. So if you ask me, what really supported us through the pandemic was really everybody working together, the faculty, our administrative staff, and our families working to overcome that challenge.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Chloe. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
I'm Chloe Ferreira from Leilehua High School, and this is Youth Capital Commentary.
Hello, I'm Ivan, and today we have Frank Kuzo from Capital Ministries to talk about his organization. So Frank, can you tell us about your organization?
Yes, thank you, Ivan. We go to the Capitol in all 50 states of the U.S., and I got a call one day if I could handle Honolulu, being I live here in Hawaii, and I said, of course, definitely. So we go to the Capitol each week on Tuesday at 12 o'clock, and we have a 1-hour study with legislators who invite us into their offices, bipartisan, you know, it's both sides, Republican, Democrat, and we do a study dealing with the Word of God, believe it or not, a Bible study, dealing with legislation and laws. And, you know, most of our country, America, was founded on biblical principles to legislate. And again, not a church, not a religious organization, but just principles based on the Word of God to give wisdom. You know, Solomon, the wisest man that ever lived, wrote Proverbs and a lot of things like that, that we use just practical things to give them help. We pray for them. We have a 1 hour time together each week, a different topic. We've been doing that now for 3 years in the Capitol, and in the last 2 months in political leaders' offices. It's been a real joy.
What kind of topics do you guys talk about during your Bible studies each week?
Well, it's funny you should ask, but the topic that we used a couple of weeks ago, believe it or not, was dealing with anger. And if you know anything about legislating, and if you watch the news, you see that political parties, if they differ on opinions, that's fine, right? But they don't get along. And sometimes it could lead to anger, not behaving properly. So we actually talked about that, about how to get over anger issues and how to actually, you can agree to disagree with someone and not be mad at them and hate them, you know what I mean? And so we talked about things like that, and things about like taxes, because they had issues like that, you know, in the Bible. If you look, Jesus spoke about the importance of giving to Caesar what's due Caesar. In other words, he wasn't against paying taxes, but at the same time, what to do, what's right to do, how to treat people fairly, equally, things like that.
Okay. Is your company different from, or how is your company different from others similar to yours?
There are groups that go to the Capitol and they have prayer. They'll have even sometimes occasionally in the morning early, like a worship service. We just do pretty much Bible study. Strictly, we take the Bible, break it down, and teach the principles there. It's strictly a Bible teaching ministry.
Yeah. Thank you, Frank, for your time. Thank you. I'm Ivan from Leilehua High School, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Thank you.
Aloha, my name is Kamana Martinez from Leilehua High School, and today I'm interviewing Joe Francher. So, Joe, tell me more about Friends.
I'm the current president of the Friends of the Wahiawā Library. What we do with the library is we support them because there's a ethics code requirement that the librarians cannot handle cash. So they need somebody to be there in case we sell books and things. So the Friends is there primarily to help with book sales and other events where purchases like food or anything like that is needed. We also support the library by purchasing larger supplies for the library that are not available through the system. We'll purchase books. We provide them with money to go down to stores and buy books. It used to be Barnes & Noble, but I'm not sure where they go now. We also purchase furniture. Basically, we're just a group of volunteers that support the library as needed. So that pretty much describes what I do as the president. I support the rest of the group that we have. The library, as you probably know, is on the corner of California, Leilehua. That library was built in, that building was built in 1965, and it will be closed on May 3rd this year to make room for a new 3-story building that will come up there, and that'll take about 2 years to build that building. And during that time, we're going to shift the library over into the shopping center in what used to be the Jeans Warehouse store by Foodland. We'll be there probably for 2 years, and much smaller space. Current library has about 47,000 books. The new space will have much, much less. It's only an 800 square foot space, so they can't afford all that books. There will be a computer there to support those who currently use the computers at the library. And there will be, obviously there'll be a librarian there, and there'll be some chairs and desks for people to work at. But it'll be a much smaller operation, obviously.
Where's the other books going to?
They'll go to storage, or we had a book sale last week, all week long, trying to thin out the number of books, and hoping we got rid of some of them at least. But Mostly they'll go into storage, as well as all the furniture that's in the library. That'll go into storage. The building, like I said, will be closed as of May 3rd, and will take about 2 months to put everything into storage, and then reopen in the temporary space.
All right, thank you, Joe.
Sure.
My name is Carmona Martinez, and you are watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Barrett from Leilehua High School, and I'm here with Micah Benovitz. Micah, what does the Nisei Veteran Legacy do?
So the mission for the Nisei Veteran Legacy is to preserve the history of those that served in World War II in the 100th Infantry Battalion, the Military Intelligence Service Unit, as well as the 442 Regimental Combat Team, and also the 1399 Engineers.
How did this organization start?
So there are various organizations after World War II. They were, like for example, Club 100th or Sons and Daughters of the 442 or the MIS or 1399. They were hangouts for the veterans where they would get together and they would bring their families. But for Nisei Veteran Legacy, a majority of those that are members or board members had family that served in those units. And there are also some members that have no connection, but they're very moved by the history and the stories of those individuals that served.
How do you guys honor these soldiers?
We do it in various ways. So every year in September, the various organizations, they get together to honor those that served in those units. For the Nisei Veteran Legacy, we also have projects where we teach the community about and educate about the history of World War II, as well as what these veterans did after the war. So currently it's the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. So there are certain libraries on the island that are hosting the Nisei Veteran Legacy to educate the public.
What are the difficulties that you faced from doing this organization?
I think one of the biggest challenges that we face is preserving the history and the legacy, especially as these veterans are dying due to old age. And one of the things that we fear is what's going to happen when the last veteran is gone. How are we going to preserve that history and teach it to the next generation?
Thank you very much, Micah, for your time. I'm Kimberly Barrett from Leilehua High School, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Hi, I'm Sua from Leilehua High School, and I'm here with Lilette Subedi. At Ho'ala Charter School, what is your role?
We're actually not a charter school. We are a private independent school. So I serve as the upper level math instructor as well as an assistant administrator.
Oh, could you tell us more about what your responsibilities are?
We want to ensure that everything in school runs smoothly, the students are safe and enjoying their days as we go. And then I also work on recruitment for new students. We're always looking to increase our enrollment right now.
How would you say that Ho'ala is different or like special from other, or how's the community special?
It's a very different kind of school. In my 51 years being in education, this is the best school that I've served at. It's a very special program that we have based on an Adlerian theory. That's the 4 R's. So responsibility, responsiveness, resourcefulness, and respectful.
Do you have any goals for the community?
Yes, we'd really like to see the community be safer. We know that the circumstances that surround all of us today with our economic challenges and the social crises that we have with drugs, also violence, if we can all come together and really support each other in trying to alleviate those problems, that's the greatest thing.
If you had to say any final words to future students, what would that be? Or words of advice?
Always be respectful. Never forget where you came from. Honor all of those around you and respect one another. Strive for peace and always move forward.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
I'm Sua Cha from Leilehua High School, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
I'm Chloe Ferreira from Leilehua High School, and today I am with Kyra Pesebre. So Kyra, is there any, I know that you are young, but is there any projects that you're currently working on here or internationally?
Yes, actually, in April 19, I'm going to be doing a project for the March of Dimes. It's for the children and the mothers, and the mothers sacrificing their lives for the children. It's actually like a marathon too. Most likely my next project that I'm gonna be working on is in the beginning of August or the end of July. I'm gonna be going to Africa. I'm going to be doing several activities and projects there.
Could you elaborate more about what you're gonna do in Africa?
Of course. In Africa, I'm going to be a part of the Army's All World Summit, where I will join other world leaders and talk about inclusion, creativity, and how young people like us can help shape a better world. Next, I will be doing, it's also empowered by Loani. Next, I'm going to be doing some motivational talking to several different schools and communities. I will be helping out with the ribbon cutting of the new Empowerment Center. It's a place that supports growth, togetherness, and learning. It's not just a building, it's a symbol of hope for the community. Next, I'm going to be visiting the Mama Dorcas Children's Center, a place which helps children and orphans from really difficult backgrounds. I'm going to be supporting the new football academy, and I will help out with the tree planting project. The trees aren't just for nature, they're a symbol of unity and for a better future for next generations. And lastly, I will be visiting the Aukik Away School, where I will learn more about the daily lives and culture. Plus, there will be a lot of talks with several other world leaders, change makers, trailblazers, students, and survivors, and more.
Thank you so much for your time, Kyra. I'm Chloe Ferreira from Leilehua High School, and this is Youth Capital Commentary. Aloha! My name is Rohana May Fiesta from Leilehua High School, and today I'll be interviewing Ziona Naho'o Ikaika Holoholu Kulani. First question for you today is, what do you do?
We are Waianae Moku Kupuna Council, and we try to help all the kupunas that are in the Waianae Coast that are houseless, that need help, that have been forgotten, that have 100% Hawaiian that are completely on the list to die, and that is wrong. And the kupunas always like to say, right the wrong.
So how long have you been in this organization for?
We started it, I think, in 2020 when everybody was closing down, and we were still making sure that we were able to meet with our kupunas, and most important, in making sure that the ones that were in the wheelchair that was left on the beaches, we had to make sure that they were well fed at least, and making sure that they had their medications and their legs. A lot of them had a lot of problems with their legs, and that's why they were in wheelchairs. And so we made sure that we got them help, got them food, got them medical assistance and things, so that we know we're doing something to help the houseless in Waianae.
What are some of the challenges that you face?
Very good question. The challenges themselves are sometimes the people do not want to move, or we will tell them to help make the place clean, and of course that's a big thing for them. They always have excuses, and that's okay. Some will come out, and we were able to house at least 3 or 4 out of the 6, and a lot of them were either going through different housing situations, and it's not just Kapuna, it's a lot of the children that are graduating from high school are completely homeless. So we got a lot of situations where now the gun violence is happening. So we're trying to make sure we can handle as much as we can without losing our kids. We're losing our keikis. We can't do that. We need to make sure that they're safe. We're helping this one boy, just got shot in Kapolei. I'm going, excuse me, what's going on here? This never happened when we were younger, and we can't figure it out. What's going on? Is it too much cell phones? Is that could be the problem? Let's find out what it is.
Thank you, Auntie, for your time. My name is Rohana May Di Fiesta, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Hi, I'm Sue Cha from Leilehua High School, and I'm here with Stephen Kiseng. As a custodian, what do you do?
Take care of the grounds and restrooms and classrooms and stuff like that.
How long have you been working here?
It's been about 4 years now.
When did you decide that you wanted to be a custodian, or why?
I was working in construction, and the driving was taking a toll on me, having to commute back and forth from town and all these places. All the extra time spent on the road, I was kind of getting tired of driving. And so when the job came up here, being that I live 2 minutes away, I figured try and get a job close to home so I don't have to fight traffic anymore.
Are there any other challenges that come with the job?
Nowadays, I would say yes, it's pretty challenging. Students are different, but pretty much every job you have their ins and outs, and I would say it's been a challenge working here.
Why would you say it's important to keep the school grounds clean or clear of any
First of all, I'm an alumni of the school, so I'm pretty proud to take care of the grounds here and kind of like to keep Leilehua looking good for myself and for the students.
Do you have any other goals that you have for Leilehua or in the community in general?
Well, hopefully someday maybe I could help them out in the track and field, because when I was in school here, we took state, in track and field, and I think I have a lot to offer, but we'll see,
Thank you so much for your time. I'm Sue Cha from Leilehua High School, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Thank you for watching Youth Capital Commentary.